Do, 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 do. Are we streaming, buckaroos? Yeah, but it's not the planned stream, and I'm actually going to do a different stream tomorrow as well to make up for today. The thing is, I've been working on a website, and it's just, I get really focused on projects. That's why when I say I have a lot of projects going on, I've spent a lot of time on those projects. Hello, A. So, I have made a website. This is my website. You can go to it at WraithStars.com. Not every link works because I'm still in the process of it. For example, events, podcast, and merch do not. None of these work right now. Oh, and the API isn't working. I just realized. Of course. Um, well, so what they're supposed to be, the there's supposed to be 3 different YouTube playlists. Um, Let me make a note. So there's supposed to be like a link to latest streams, top videos, and in-houses, which you don't see, but when they look great. Hello, good boy, Red. The Discord link does work though. So right now I basically have a bunch of things pointing to the Discord, but I'm also going to get a matrix, which is like a free version, like an open source free version of Discord, and I'll have multiple links, one to Discord and one to matrix. Right now I do want to do an in-house league for Dota. And I think that these days will work best, but we'll get back to that. I have an about section, and I have a section for the normies, which is welcome to the endless void. I am WraithStars, a variety streamer focused on Dota 2. Just, I can't not. A structured community in houses and a little bit of celestial chaos. And I honestly think that I might change how this looks because I'll show you why. But I have my main game as Dota, my rank in Dota, and then my community, which links to my Discord again. My schedule does go to a Google Calendar, and this one I'll have to change. But I do have the in-houses linked here. And then if we go to community, I have community is the Stardust Sanctuary, which is the name of my Discord community server. And then I do want to put links to the in-houses because that's like the main event, really. So I have Dota 2 in-houses, community games with structure, captains, drafts, and a vibe that stays competitive. How to join. I actually don't have this yet, but that's okay because I'm going to have a subdomain that'll just be for the in-houses. Who it's for, mixed skill levels are welcomed. I actually really like the idea of mixed skills. And then I will have the rules posted, and this will end up being a link to the rules, but I haven't formalized them yet. To watch VODs, it links to my YouTube. And then the Discord links. And then events, right now, it will just relink to here. But it will eventually go to this. For the community culture, I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out what would work best. And I think the best way to word it is competitive, not contemptuous. Try hard and don't belittle. Feedback without ego. Call plays, but not people. Skill is respected. Shot call. Draft. Teach, but don't posture. Be easy to team with. Using clear comms, a steady vibe, and no spirals. And then, I have to change this. When you hover over it, the text underneath doesn't show. Man, I had a lot of errors trying to change everything. The color scheme just wasn't working out. So the join in-houses, hello Warden, will link to the in-house subdomain that I don't have yet. This I think will also link to the in-house subdomain. For polls, I haven't figured out how I want to do it. Maybe it'll be on Discord. And then for submitting clips, I'm not sure how to do this either, but I do want there to be a way to do it. So I kind of get ahead of myself when I start doing a project. This is why like my projects really distract me. Because I think I started this website like a week ago. Now, for supporters, this is actually information that you can find on my Twitch, which I'm now going to remove and just have it all link here. So, supporters are, this looks gorgeous. Thank you so much, Starbreeze. Also, hi. So we have current Twitch supporters, which I'll have to manually update. And I wasn't sure if I should tell people that I have to manually update it, but I think I should, because what if people just think it automatically updates? I'm gonna have to set like a reminder like once a week or something to manually do it. And then subscribe. Well, this one's on Twitch. I should do a member link. Let me write that. That one I didn't think about, so let me write that in my little to-do book. Where are we at? We're at supporters. Supporters member link. Okay. And then after you've been a member or a subscriber for a year, I do art for you. And all of these link to my Google Drive. And then I do have a timeline of like, these are kind of like personal milestones for me streaming. It's been really spread out. I'm okay with that. I'm going to put a new one in here, but I haven't figured out what I want to name it or how I would like refer to it. And then for the Constellation Hall, I have mixed thoughts on this as well, because these are the top 3 that I've ever received. But like I've had a lot of support from different people. So I feel like I should put not every single one, but kind of in a way, maybe I should put every single one. I kind of thought it would look nice, kind of like this, like how the sound effects work on Twitch. But I also really like how nice this looks, so I might keep it this way as well. I'll have to think a little bit more about that, so let me write that down. And then this is how the currency works. This currency ties back to the Discord. So there are different roles on the Discord, and you get them depending how many stars you have. And I'm using Stream Elements to track it. And then all the links, these ones currently work. If they don't, they literally don't go anywhere. Am I missing anything? No. Okay, so now the most recent thing I added. Do you want to see? Yes, you do. Look at this. It's a wiki. So none of these work except for on-stream personalities. Okay. So I'm going to I think we kind of have to just go to on-stream personalities for this all to make more sense. So if I go to on-stream personalities, it says every star emits more than one wavelength. These are the different frequencies you'll hear referred to on stream. I should say here, yeah, here on are referred to. So I will, um, I've only added one person right now, but every person I've ever collabed with and people who are regulars on the stream will get a page. Um, so yeah, okay. Will this mention the VAVCS? Yes, it will. Yeah, all of my projects are going to end up going here. Well, not all of them, just everything that's associated with WraithStars. I have a lot, a lot more. But yes, that will go here while I'm developing it, which right now it doesn't none of these work except for this one. Because I was trying really hard to get the website looking okay. I had so many issues, like so many like formatting issues. I wanted things to look a very specific way. Some things looked too samey. I didn't have enough contrast. I even changed the logo. So now on my stream, that's also my new logo, which is just a little bit more of a contrast. And I think I might change the star. Does it work on mobile yet? So I have code um for certain parts of it on mobile, but I only just pushed this to the website like within an hour. Also, hi Jax. Um, so I haven't tested that very well to know if it works or how well it works. That's something I'll have to do a little bit later. That's not really my focus right now. I really just want to get all the shit on here because it's so much. It's so much information. So let's go to on-stream personalities so I can kind of explain a little bit about that. And then we're going to come back to the wiki part here, this wiki main page. So, oh, yeah, see, see, this was one of the issues I had. To make this wiki page, I had to, okay, to make an actual wiki page, I had to separate the wiki into two individual sections. And then I have another page that slaps them together. And then I have formatting for this page, and then I have formatting for individual pages. And because of that, I keep losing when I'm trying to change how something looks, where it is. So this is one of those things I'm going to have to change it. It's not quite right. What do you guys think about this font? Is this font too small? Not the big one. That one's going to be bigger anyway. But this one. You know what? I have a feeling I know exactly where this is in the code too. Like I think I know what I sized it as and how I made it look wrong. Anyway, Pokira, which is Pokey or Ponsok or Conset, he is the first one. And again, it does the same thing because I just copied and pasted. But if we click on it, this is Pokira's picture on Discord. It's not, oh, it is hard to read? Okay, thank you. I'll change that as well. Change font size, I think would be fine. I'm gonna have to, there's something else. I'll point out a couple of things. It's just I have so many little things. There were a lot more. I've made a lot of progress today. I made the wiki today. So let's read Pokira's no, I'm sorry, Pokira's wiki. So I looked at other wikis and I saw that they have this tag. I don't know why. I think it might just be because people, um, I don't know, like take screenshots or something. I'm not really sure. We're just gonna leave it there. It's what people are doing on all the wikis. I'll do it. Now for Pokira, we have their name again. The image status is going to be like if I do stuff with them, which with Pokey always. And then his role is the Twitch, YouTube, Discord moderator, known for threshold alignment. And then his alias is just right now. I think there's a couple more that I'm forgetting. So these all link correctly. We'll have the overview, which is Pokira is one of the structural constants of the stream and has been since the first stream ever. It's crazy. I was streaming in like a Pokemon category, um, where like it wasn't the correct category because I think I was streaming like a fan game or something, and Pokey just found me. As a moderator in the Stardust Sanctuary, Pokey maintains equilibrium during live sessions and offline quiet moments. So then the origin, which it will just boop, it's so good. He did not arrive with the title. Pokira appeared quietly during a Pokemon Nuzlocke stream, a small orbit in an obscure category, a fragile run balanced on probability and consequence, and it was fucking boring for me. I remember not liking the idea of a Nuzlocke series. Most viewers drift through such moments like passing comments. Comments. I can't. Pokira did not drift, he returned. Consistency is rarer than enthusiasm. He watched, he stayed, he learned the cadence of the stream before ever attempting to shape it. Trust did not crystallize in a single moment. It accumulated, stream after stream, game after game, conversation after conversation. Reliability is not declared, it is demonstrated. Twitch moderator came first as the recognition of gravity already present, then Discord, then YouTube. The shift was gradual, viewer to regular, regular to collaborator, collaborator to structural constant. Infrastructure does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like someone who shows up every time and holds the line when energy tilts. By the time the role had a name, it was already real. He did not become a part of the void. He had already been sustaining it. For the on-stream presence, Pokira and WraithStars, because I don't know if I should say like he, we, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I like the idea of other people being able to like log in eventually, but like right now, the community is way too small for that. So I'm just going to take it as a third person type of deal. Pokira and WraithStars have played across across multiple competitive and cooperative titles over the years, including 7 Days to Die, Apex Legends, Battle Right, Brighter Shores, Deadlock, Deep Rock Galactic, Dota 2, Eternal Return, For the King, League of Legends, Once Human, Overwatch, Paladins, Path of Exile, Supervive. Oh, I forgot to put an and. I had it earlier and then I put these in alphabetical order and then I was like, oh, okay. And X Defiant. That'll be enough information for me to know. Paladins marked a sustained collaborative period before the stream shifted more heavily into Dota structure. In recent times, Pokira's moderation style is steady rather than theatrical. Enforcement is quiet, consistent, and never personal. He prioritizes tone over dominance, keeping conversations competitive without letting them devolve into contempt. So if you guys remember, I have a story that I wrote about drama that occurred in my Discord. So I um I named Pokey the Veilkeeper, and I decided I was going to give him lore for the wiki and give him a backstory. So I did this, and I think I'm gonna put the story here as well, but I'm trying to decide if I should or shouldn't. Not like here, it's gonna be on the website somewhere. I never got around to making the better, like, formal video, and I did change a couple of things in that story. The story is called Knots in the Veil, but there is a live stream of it. You like the Pokira lore? Let me read it. I'm so excited. This is cool. You definitely should. Thank you so much. So, the Veil Keeper is a function of the seam, where order thins and hunger gathers, where radiance strains against the pressure of what would consume it. There is a narrowing. In that narrowing, the Veil Keeper coheres. He was not born, he condensed. So, in Knots in the Veil, the Veilkeeper, I think I only so initially when I came up with the Veilkeeper for like Pokey, I liked it more as like a thing that didn't have a defined gender. But because I'm applying it to a person who shows up on my stream and in my community, I have to refer to their gender. You know what I mean? So so sometimes when it seems like in this story, this like little backstory, it seems like he sounds like it's overused. That's why. It's because initially it was it, and then I was like, ah, it's not gonna work. Imagine the place where a star's light meets the event horizon of its own collapse. The given awareness of the exacting boundary where the star and the abyss must acknowledge each other is the Veil Keeper. He does not patrol or judge, he calibrates. His body, if one must call it that, is a lattice of cold luminescence stretched across a wound in reality. Threads of pale force anchor into nothingness on one side and into structured radiance on the other. It holds neither. See it. I missed one. He permits passage only when passage maintains alignment. Oh, and I missed the Veil Keeper here. I was supposed to bold it. The Veil Keeper does not blink. Would they work? Maybe. Let's try it. Let's try it in the first paragraph. The Veil Keeper is a function of the seam, where order thins and hunger gathers, where radiance strains against the pressure of what would consume it. There is a narrowing. I'm gonna rewrite this. I don't like this part either. In that narrowing, the Veil Keeper coheres. They were not born, they condensed. Maybe. I don't know if I like it. They were not born, they condensed. Let's try it again in the second paragraph. Imagine a place where a star's light meets the event horizon of its own collapse. The given awareness of the exacting boundary where the star and the abyss must acknowledge each other is the Veil Keeper. They do not patrol or judge, they calibrate. There it fits better. Maybe if I change all of it to they, I would like it better. Let's consider they. I'll write that down. Thank you. Okay, so we're skipping the third paragraph because I was just trying out they in place of he for the first two paragraphs, and I already read the third paragraph, so now we're going to read the fourth paragraph. But for the rest of this reading, I'm going to keep to the language that's on the screen. His gaze is a title, or sorry, his gaze is title mathematics. He measures oscillation, variance, and intent as mass. He feels the tremor of approaching hunger before the hunger names itself. He feels the weakness of a constellation before the fracture shows. He does not intervene from preference. He intervenes from geometry. When a flare approaches with bluster and thin gravity, the Veil Keeper tightens in conservation. When a force arrives forged and coherent, it loosens just enough to allow integration. The seam flexes, the pattern remains intact. His speech is compression. When he answers, the ocean stills. When he disapproves, the tide pulls back from the shoreless edges. When he consents, the stars lean. He has watched civilizations flicker in peripheral dust and felt nothing personal in their extinguishing. He has watched singular lights endure and adjusted the seam by fractions of inevitability to let them pass. He remembers without nostalgia. I don't know if I should say that, like, that's really assuming. So maybe I'll remove that one, actually. He records without story. His loyalty is to the veil itself, the fragile membrane where form resists consumption. He recognized me. I named the seam, and in naming, awareness sharpened. And if he determines you to be misaligned, why is that one capitalized? You know what? It's probably on a new line. That might be it. Okay, we have to write that down too. You would not be struck down, you would simply fail to pass. The Veilkeeper does not punish, he excludes. He is patient beyond. I can never say this word, don't judge me, okay? There's a bunch of words that I struggle with because I've only ever seen them written. So let's get Google to tell me. I know that I should never share my screen when I Google. I've learned the hard way, so we're gonna just go like
Epic.
epic. That is not what I thought, but sure. Sure. Yep. Hmm. He has watched clusters attempt rebellion, meteors attempt spectacle, remnants attempt dominion. He has allowed what strengthens the pattern. He has denied what would thin it. Veilkeeper is the custodian of thresholds. That was weird. I thought I was going to say it wrong, so instead I stuttered. That was really good. Good for me. The cold mercy of boundaries and the quiet force that ensures the constellation does not dissolve into appetite. And when I set the watch, he did not bow from devotion. He aligned. So there's several things here. There's a reason why I wanted to read this before we continued. So I am going to keep this lore. I'm going to change a couple of things, the things that I pointed out because I don't like them. And I've already changed it. I've rewritten this 3 times today. One thing I did want to point out is I'm using a font where the capital I's are intentionally lowercased. This is not like I typed it wrong. This is just what this font does, which I kind of like, but you wouldn't be able to tell when it comes to my logo, which uses the same font, because I don't have a capital I. There's a couple of things that I could word just a little bit better. But so in here, I refer to the ocean. I refer to constellations. I refer to alignment. All of these things are going to be in the celestial lore. They're going to have their own little descriptions and whatever. I'll probably write stories for them. um, but in addition to that, I need to put all the rest of his links here because that's important to me. I'm going to add, I think I mentioned, anybody I've collaborated with, I'm going to add here. Not here, but like on their own page. The other thing I wanted to mention is, as you can see at the top, it says podcast. So I have a story that I want to tell that will take 12 episodes. I've already written almost all of the script. I don't need other people to help me with it. I know exactly. It's a thing that I've planned for a very long time. And this is one of several like story podcasts. Um it's a self-contained story. This one will have 12 episodes. There's like little secrets that I've written into it, which I think is really fun. And after I'm done posting the last episode, I will um have like a video where I go over the little secret things and point out different things that I wrote in it. Um this is one of those things where like um stuff with the lore that I write will tie into the podcast. This one in particular. There's a different one that takes place like in a different like universe, you could say. But for the first podcast that I release, it's going to have something to do with a concept that I mention here, but I have to find it again. Hold on. Let me find it. Here, it's this part. So, in this section of Poki's lore, I say that his loyalty is to the veil itself, the fragile membrane where form resists consumption. He recognized me. I named the seam, and in naming, awareness sharpened. So that's basically, it's not about him. It's about awareness. This you could say like I can't. These two sentences basically describe the entirety of what the first podcast will be about. It has a bunch of other things, but like that's the main idea. Um, so I wanted to, oh, my throat, dude. That's something else for like the last week. I think I've had like a sinus infection from all the cleaning I did. So it's a little whatever it is. So I'm going to put in projects. I'm going to put like the celestial lore. I'm going to put different people who I'm going to add to the on-stream personalities. I'm going to have a list here under this section, but again, it's dead right now. There's a bunch of different things like the podcast, for example. I have several different things like the podcast. Like I said, I mentioned two of them. The first one is 12 episodes. The next one is much longer. I have a lot of projects like these, and usually when it comes to me mentioning my projects on the stream, I basically just say I have projects, and I understand that other people don't know what that means. Like, I don't I don't think about this kind of shit the way that other people do. I want to do these things. These things make me very happy. Um, so this like website is a good way for me to tie it all together, show people kind of what I mean, and have them understand that just because you don't see my presence doesn't mean that I'm not doing something, because that seems to be a reoccurring theme that I've had recently, where lots of people get upset that I don't respond to them in a timely manner. And I've had multiple conversations, 3 conversations in the last week about this, where what I don't understand is like, what the fuck is everybody else doing? If I'm going to respond to somebody, I'm not going to give you a brief response. Surely you all know this. I don't have the time to respond to everybody all of the time. I just don't have it, because if I do that, then I'm not doing things like this. And look how fucking cool this is. And so I do make time, but the time that I make to respond to people is inconsistent, and I understand that. So like, for example, I get these ideas like, I'm in a small community of streamers, and I've mentioned this in a previous stream, where I just think we could do the whole streaming, collaborating thing better. I think we could make it easier for people, easier to understand. We could have like a hub where there's like streaming information and things like that available to this group that's trying to grow. And I know all that shit. I could just do it. I could just help people. So I started to make the Discord, and I made like a guide um in that Discord, and I actually put that on my GitHub as well, because I just got a little crazy. So I get these little side projects, and if they're fairly small, I'll just slap it all out. But like this one, I didn't think this one was going to be this big because I wasn't going to put community and I wasn't going to put supporters and I wasn't going to do the wiki. And I was just going to link directly to the podcast when I eventually did it. And I was just going to redirect to a merch website. But I do know how to program. So, um, or I guess you could just say it's like basic HTML code and CSS. But I was like, well, I mean, we want to kind of just redirect to the in-house, right? So I'll direct to my stream, and then do the in-house streams. So then I had to go to YouTube and make playlists. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Red. So I had to go to my YouTube and make playlists for these things because I realized that I didn't have any. So I was like, well, this would be good. And then I had to learn how to use the Google YouTube's API, blah, 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 blah. I did not know how to do that. And look it, I used it and it looked great. Okay, it looked great on my end and now it doesn't. Super awesome. So I'll have to fix that. And then again, this is for the in-house and these dates I think will be accurate. I'm going to have to stream on a regular schedule. It's just, it's been hard because I haven't felt good and my working has been annoying. And then I had like an emotional day that really just ruined progress. I wasn't going to be productive. And I don't want to stream when I'm in the mood that I was in. I feel like it just detracts from the stream. And I really like what the stream is. So all of this happened. And like for the events, I haven't done events because I don't know how I want to present it yet. I didn't get to there today. For the schedule, I think linking to the Google makes the most sense, but then I wanted to customize this because everything else is quite thematic. I can't. Don't know. I already tried. I already tried. I schmoogled it. I chat GPT'd it. I can't. No idea. No clue. Nothing they said works. So that's great. Um, and then for the links, you would not believe how annoying it is to get a Ko-fi link. That's why it's not the right size. I had to do like an SVG type of thing, which basically calculates positions of how to draw something, like draw the thing. It was just annoying. Same with this one. But this one was more annoying because I didn't even know I had to do this. So like you would think that, oh, just making a website would be so simple. I thought just I would slap some links on there and we'd be good. And then I was like, nope. These ones are so easy. They just pull from like a database online. And then you get to this one, no. This one, no. So like that became more complicated. Figuring out the color scheme, it was not this morning. It was not this, what it was this morning wasn't the same yesterday. But I do like this. This is very good. And then what I noticed, because I kind of just like to throw everything out and then refine it. And because I do that, I noticed that none of my links worked the same. Like, look at, you're supposed to hover on these. I know I have it coded correctly, which means that something is overriding it, but I don't know where that is. But you're supposed to hover it and it turns into this darker pink color. Nope. Where is it? I don't know. I'll fix it. That one I already have written down. But so the about, I wrote this story, which I'll get to. We'll get there, okay? But I wrote this part. I was like, we need normies to know what's going on. Which I honestly should put vtuber on here. I don't have that. Let's write that down. Okay. And then for community, I was trying to think like the whole point was I wanted a website where I could direct people for in-houses. That was the whole point of this. And then I was like, I could just do so much with a website though. I have so much information. So I was like, let's start with the in-houses. And then obviously events are going to include in-houses. And then I have to figure out what to do for movie nights. I think we'll move them to Fridays, except for the days where I have the SEA region. um, Dota game days. I think that's what we'll probably do, but I just haven't gotten there. And then I think I kind of want to do community 5 stag days. But like at this point, I have so many different types of streams that I want to do that I want to stream like every day. And that's just not feasible because how am I going to work on all these projects? Right? Do you see what the problem is? And then I have to work like a fucking person. So then I also have to work. How am I going to respond to people? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, so then I thought, well, like, what else could we add here? Because at first I just had these 2 blocks. So I was like, what else? Let's just like tell people what we want our culture to be. Because something I didn't realize is, um, I guess people really like their hug boxes, and I understand the appeal to them, but I think that having a difference of opinion and like kind of celebrating, although this just sounds so gushy, but I don't mean it in a gushy way, but celebrating different perspectives, appreciating different perspectives, that might be better, um, or respecting different perspectives. I think there's a lot of good that comes from that, and I didn't realize that some people don't like that. They think they do. They act like they do. They'll say that they do. But then when they get the chance to show how they really feel, they don't want that. They want following strict guidelines. I don't like that. I like this. This is pretty good. This isn't super strict. Oh no, there's a number there. I didn't realize. I probably put the wrong type of bullet thing. Where's this number under community? I'll know. I have so many notes now. So I wanted to define what that means. And obviously it relates to the Dota 2 in-houses. And then this again, these two have to do with the in-houses. And then these I haven't quite determined. I'll get there, okay? And then for supporters, all of this is on my Twitch. But it's not on my YouTube, and I don't have enough space to put it all on my YouTube. But I want it available. So I think I'll just have to plug my YouTube all the, or plug my, what? Plug my website all of the time. So this is pretty good. Except here, like I don't know how to convey this information. Maybe it needs a different color. Goodness gracious. I don't think that's appropriate. And then for the wiki, I thought about this, I thought about Knots in the Veil, and I was like, you know, I could probably tie that in. And then I also thought about like some people, specifically Pokey, some people clearly don't realize I have a moderator. And when that happens, I think it's hilarious. But it is problematic. Um, because I do have a moderator. My rules are just more lax than other people's. If we need to be more firm, we will, and I'm sure as we grow, we will. But Pokey is on the same page as me. That's why Pokey's been my mod for so long. But like I could just tell that there's been a couple of times where moderation has come up in conversation about my stream or in my Discord, or I've mentioned Pokey as my mod, and people just have no clue what I'm talking about. Which, unless they come to this website, I understand that they're not gonna know. But like, I want to be able to just like link them my own website and be like, boom, go. It's a little bit easier. So then when I did this whole section, and then I was like, well, but he is the Veil Keeper. We could just tie it in. So these things just spiral. I think I can put a lot of my, oh no, I lost it. Oh, here it is. I think I can put a lot of my projects that are related to this here. And the way I'll show them is with like a progress bar. I have a really complex system on a different website that I use for game projects, but I'll use a simple progress bar thing with like 5 steps to it to kind of show where I'm at. Um, that'll help. Now, when it comes to my Dota 2 history, the amount of times that comes up in conversation um, is a bit much. And it'll still come up in conversation. I will still have to address it in conversation, and I understand that. Um, but there might be people where I don't necessarily interact with them other than like maybe a couple of posts in the chat. And I want to I want them to have access to this information. I understand that me having a website does seem a little big-headed. Um, I'm gonna do it anyway. I already did it. I think it makes sense for what I have going on and for all my plans. I did say that once I could get a VTuber to be what I want, which this is honestly pretty good, I was going to start acting on my plans. This is part of that. The idea to have a website actually came from Requiem, but it's perfect. This is a great idea. And now I can just keep adding to it. I can update it whenever. I'm so excited. What did Benita say? He asked Red to go to a Discord, which that's not chill, dude. Um, he should just message Red on Discord instead of in somebody else's chat. It's never chill to try to get people to go away from a streamer. Like that's not chill. I don't like that. But I didn't have to do anything. He did type in all caps, so Nightbot was like, "No." For the Dota 2 in-house systems, this is just going to link. I guess, well, it's part of the wiki. So within this page, we'll have a link to the subdomain, but again, I haven't made the subdomain yet. I mean, I've technically made it, but I haven't made like the website version. Yeah. Oh, I dropped my little Minecraft guy. I play with like a little, I think it's like a Lego version of a zombie on fire. Okay, so this is basically what I wanted to show you guys. I sincerely was going to review um the the rest. I was gonna do like a longer stream today and review as much as I possibly could of the last in-house. But then I was working on this like most of the day. I couldn't work today. I tried. It was not that busy. So this is what we got. Also, I thought I changed the color of the scroll bar, so we'll have to change it again. It could be because I changed the background that it doesn't look as poppy as it did. And then at the very bottom, I do have like this little disclaimer. Something else I want to add is we have a link to Ko-fi, which you can tip there. But we should do like a PayPal or like, I guess it'd be like a support is what we would call it. I don't know if supporters would be right. Like, I don't know if I named these all correctly. Um, I'll have to think about it a little bit more. And I kind of think that I should move these around. Hmm. No, I kind of like these. I like them where they're at. I just have a lot of information I want to share, and I could make it wider, but I don't want to. Is the background of Voronoi? I don't know what that is. What is a Voronoi? It's an image. It's just a standard image. Well, it's two images. I placed I placed a filter, you could say, a color filter. I don't know if filter's the right one. I placed a color on top of an image that I made. Like this image is mine. I made the background, but I placed a color on top of it and I changed the opacity of the color. So now it's like a deeper purple. What is a Voronoi? Again, I can't Google. Safety first. So we'll schmoogle like on my phone. Voronoi. No, it is not. I can see why you thought it would be though. I actually thought about using one. Um, I didn't know that's what they were called. Um, at first it was just a solid color. It's actually, the background was this, I don't think I'm using it. I have it labeled as main text, but I'm not using it as my text color anymore. I don't have it anywhere. Like this purpley color that you can see. Oh, can you not see? Oh my God. This purpley color on the feet of the ghost bear. That is what the entire background was. But then I was like, Requiem said that it didn't have enough contrast, which with everything else it really didn't. So I like this page has enough contrast because this breaks up everything. And like the whole website makes much more sense when you look at this one. I honestly might just extend these and add the teeth. That might be good. Well, obviously we can't do. I always click on the schedule. Oh no. Hold on. The size is correct. This is not bolded. Oh my God. I have too many style things. I do have a global one. I'm just not using it. I'm using it for one thing, two things. It's a randomized pattern that is used to make a pseudo-randomized art like that. This is actually from a very, very, very old picture. I used to have this as my background image. Oh, look, we can find the date. I used to have it as my background image in probably 2017 for sure. Where is your global styles? I have it. I have that. I have global styles. It's just when I got to certain parts, I was like, well, I don't like that. I'm gonna fix it here. And then for like this one, I just copied it over to this one. Or no, yeah. Yeah, because they're like basically the same thing. Look, see, they're like the same thing. It's the same thing. So I just did that. I'll figure it out. Listen, I'll figure it out. It does look messy. It is messy code. But that was never the goal. And I still have like a lot of things that don't link to anything anyway. Once I have the subdomain for the in-houses set up, this will have links. Oh, oops. This and this will have links. I think that's it actually. Do I not have a redirect to Discord on here? I don't. We need a redirect. Everything. Oh, I do. I was like, everything has to point to Discord. And then once I make the events, I wasn't sure how I wanted to display it. That was the problem. Spaghetti. No, it's not spaghetti. It's not spaghetti. Maybe. Kind of. I mean, no, I don't know. I really did try. It looked worse. It looked worse at one point. So it's better than it was. So I feel accomplished. So, this one I don't have a link for yet. All these I do. Yeah, once events works, the community link to events and the home page link to events will work. Yeah, and then merch, I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it because, like, I could just link to a different page. I don't really have merch, but I have plans for merch. So that's kind of the problem is like I have plans for what I think is actual decent merch. I mean, it's obviously I'm opinionated and biased. Um, but I could host it here, like on its own little page, or I could just link out. No, no, it's not spaghetti. Yeah, so what I said when we were on the About Me page, why I didn't read the lore, is I kind of think that this whole section should go in a page on my wiki under WraithStars. But I don't like talking about myself in this very direct way where people can access it at any point. So I I don't I did it here. But like then what else would I put here? I just don't know. I'm not sure. I have to think about it more. Yeah, you said this was too small. I have to change some things, but the website is up. You can go to it right now. Um, Put it in a secret page. You gotta find by accident so you can leak it eventually. Yeah, so that's something I was asking Requiem about, which was like, how do subdomains work? Like, how do people find them? Because I feel like there has to be some secrety subdomains, right? Like not here, but like in general. I don't know though. I kind of like how this is set up just right now, like with the stream, but I would probably move my character to the side, my model to the side. I don't know. Secrets would be cool. Well, I'm already gonna have secrets with the podcast, though. Oh, you can't see my mouse. No, 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 you can't. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to just think about it more. Also, none of these are the same size. Wait, are they? This one, these two are. These are. And then I don't have one here, but these are the same size as these. It's just this one should be the same size as this one. What about this? What about this font size? Do you guys like this? Oh, we'll talk about that. Do you guys like this font size or is it too tiny? Is it potato? We could make it bigger. Can you embed the schedule calendar into the website? I don't know. I can try. Right now, technically, it is an embedded link. I don't know how to plop it on the website itself. But I would think that you could because people have been doing that for a long time. It's just when I looked up like how to embed it, it basically said to do this. And I looked up another streamer who has their schedule like this. Um, and it literally it's embedded in the exact same way. So I'm like maybe you could, but I just don't know how. Wait, what's the answer? What's the answer though? Is this too small? I need to know. Then we have, so because I stream, obviously I want to link to the stream. I don't know where this text is right now because like I changed in my global fonts, I changed my default text to be this one, which I'm calling darker background, I think, because I was going to use it for something else. It's the same color as this, which is not black. Like you can tell, it's not quite black. Okay, thank you. But when I changed it, I forgot all about this, and I've only seen it. This is now the third time I've seen it. And then the other problem is this is a lowercase o, because if I do a capital O, then there's like a huge gap between these two for no reason. So I think I might change the font itself. And I wanted to say if I'm online or offline. I did start to link it, but then I got rid of it when I linked these, which you can't see. But they are there, okay? They exist. You know what? I'm just gonna fucking show you because it upsets me. Which it should work. It should work on the dev version. I guess just to make sure I'm not showing you weird stuff, let's just double check. Oh no, it doesn't work here. Oh, yes it does. So this is the development version. And everything looks the same. These links at the top, these ones will be at the same level and vertical width. That's not it. I don't know what that thing is called right now. I'm too tired. Once I have them linked. So I'm okay with it looking like this for now. But the API is calling it correctly. It just has something to do with how it's accessing it on the website. So these are all individual playlists that I made. I did go through and rename every video, including reviews associated with the in-houses, because I just want them to be like pretty. I am considering the first game season 1 and the second game season 2. And then these are my top videos, which I have the top 5. It's videos and live streams. And then these are just the in-house streams. And these are just the latest streams. So part 1 of the review, and this was the in-house. So after we're done with this, it should pop up here. And look how cute they are. Oh my god. See, that's how it's supposed to look. But right now, it has something to do with the environment variable for it. Because I don't want to put like my API on public. Hey, are we booping the table? Why are we booping the table? You just having fun? You're kicking butt? Kazooie, are you okay? Bear, Bear, I want to look at Kazooie. Bear, Bear. Hold on. She's trying to get to me. Let me go get her. She needs helpy. Come here. Oh my god, did I save you from him kicking your butt? Yeah, he kicked your butt? Oh my god. You okay? Zooey doesn't like to lose, so she gets like, I don't know, uppity. She gets quite uppity when she loses. And I have to just keep an eye out. Tear Bear, come here. Hi, how are you? Did you kick a butt? Wow. But I want to celebrate when my other dogs do well. You kicked a butt? Yeah, you did. Did you need puppy food? That's a good time to eat puppy food. And this gets him off her back. Anyway, it looks cute. This is good. All right. So, this is all the stream's going to be today. I've told you most of the stuff. You can kind of see why there was a delay. I'm obviously going to add more. I've been adding more every single day. I've worked on it every single day. When we have the in-houses, there is going to be a Hall of Fame, which is basically who was the MVP that everyone voted on for each team. And we're going to have an archive of it. I want people to apply as a captain. I want you to be able to join the player pool. For applying, there's going to be a Google form. The rules, I did look at other in-houses to see what people do, and some of those rules are stupid. I did not like them. So, I made my own rules that I think are fairly cohesive. And then, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think more. I think what I should work on next, besides these little things that I have to correct, which that alone, I can tell you, everything that I've mentioned today that's like just a little correction, all of that shit is going to take me like 2 hours. And in the process, let's just hope I don't get fucking distracted. But after that, I think I'll work on projects because that links to everything else. And when I do projects, it'll make a lot more sense. So I appreciate how kind you guys have been when it comes to this. Um, this is one of those things. Sounds so weird. I do a lot of my projects because they make me happy. They make me just very happy. And I want that. But they also make me feel accomplished. And I want that. um, mm, I feel like this website has maybe been it's been a long time coming. Is that the right way to say that? It's been a long time coming. I don't know how to word that. You know what I mean. Um, but again, I do understand it's weird to have your own website, but I think it'll make more sense when I add in all my projects. Like, it's nice to have a hub. Um, and right now, hubs are just all over the place. I have like for my projects, I have information in Notion, on Google Docs, on like Obsidian. I have it in spreadsheets. I have it in pictures. I have it in written notes. um, I don't need everybody else to see all of my information, but having one hub that I can reference to show people like why I'm so busy all the time. Hello, Athraxis. And to also like feel more accomplished, I think is good for me. I do very well when I can see the fruits of my labor. Um, I wouldn't say that I am, what's it called? There's a word for when you, or like maybe it's a phrase for when you, oh, instant gratification. I don't need instant gratification, but it definitely helps my momentum. Like for me to do all of this, um, it's a lot. It's a lot. I wonder, mm, especially because I'm using Svelte. I don't know if you guys know what Svelte is, okay? It's fucking confusing. I like it because I really like how easy it is to use in general. But when it comes to like I mentioned, I have the wiki set up. So the wiki has an info box, which is where the picture and like the little bits of information is on the right side. And then I have the wiki layout. And those are two different pages, you could say, two different files that are in a wiki folder, that's in a components folder, that's in my library folder, that's in my source folder. So in that organization. But when you use Svelte, you're supposed to use routes. And I have used routes before when developing websites, but not like this. Because they're ugly. They're ugly. I don't like the fucking file organization. It's so ugly. I had to really look past it. So, for example, this page that we're on, you know what? Let's go to Pokey's page. Okay, where am I? If we go to Pokey's page, to get here, you oh, we're on the wrong thing. We should do it this way. You can't see all of my screen, but the URL says wraithstars.com/wiki/on-stream-personalities/Pokera. Okay. To do that is ugly. It's ugly. So you have to have routes. Those routes each have a folder. Each thing has its own folder. Each one of those things has like a layout, organization. How do you want it to look and act? Page. And guess what? They're all fucking named. They're all named plus page dot svelte. They don't have any difference. And that's why I don't know where shit is, because everything is called page svelte. It's all plus page. All of it's plus page. Blah, 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 blah. It's terrible. It's been like my biggest grievance doing this. I've been very mad about it. But the website works, and this is the first day it has been up. And it's not just the development website, which is, I just switched over to it and you can't even tell. It's just perfect. I'm so happy. That's me switching over to it so you can see. Who's telling me not to do stuff that makes me feel happy and accomplished? No one is telling me not to do stuff that makes me feel happy and accomplished. I think a lot of people, it's more of like, a lot of people want my attention for one reason or another. I know how I got to these places, and I like that, but I don't want to feel bad for working on my projects. And sometimes I feel bad for working on my projects. Speaking of, because Jax, you know about this one. So I told you a lot about, not everything. I actually have to fix it because we just had like a fucking storm that ripped off the roof. Fuck that. Anyway, I have the chicken run and I have the chicken coop and it just looks and acts awesome. Okay. It is what it is and I like it. Except we just had a storm with really strong winds, which I had to put like a roof on top of my roof, not of the chicken coop, of the run. I had to do this because the rain was just not going where I wanted it to go. And I have a plan to fix this in the summer, but I'm not going to do this right now when it's cold. So I needed like a temporary fix. So I have some galvanized metal. I used this metal. I have just a little bit of it, not a lot, not enough to do the whole roof. So I used it to make like, I don't know, you could say like a bigger sheet of it. I framed it and I placed it where I need to direct the water. And this is going to sound a little ghetto, but it doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't look ghetto at all. I took, my ex left a shed here, a plastic shed that's been warped by the sun. And I told him I wanted it. He wasn't going to take it anyway. But I'm not, like, I could just put that thing together using wood on the inside to frame it a little bit better, and it would be effective. But I really needed to direct the water. So since the shed is in pieces, I was like, you know what? Like the side walls would be very good as, hey, no, thank you. Would be very good as like a roof. And I decided to do that. The wind was so powerful that it ripped off the galvanized metal and both sheets of plastic that were from the other shed that I was using as a roof. But when they were there, they worked all right. So I think I just might anchor them a little bit better. I'm not entirely sure. The wind was really unexpected. So that was a little crazy. But before the wind went all crazy, my uncle, who owns my house, came by and he knew that I had chickens. He knew where I was putting the chicken coop and everything, but he didn't know all the little specifics. So he came and he looked at it and he was so impressed. He was like, "It looks really nice. You've been so busy." He could tell that I had spent like a lot of time on it. And I was like, "Well, yeah, but like it's really important." And I showed him, he asked me if I had any predators, and I was like, "Well, no, but I have like the predator wire, the hardware cloth that I wrapped all the way around." And I showed him, well, mm, for how I made the shed, um, I have pallets, 6 of them. It might be 4. Um, I think it's 4 actually. Well, I don't know, because now I think it's 6. No, it's 6, but it takes up like 4.5 technically. So I have pallets all laid out on the ground as like a subfloor. On top of that, I have hardware cloth that I have screwed into the pallets. And then on top of that, I have basically it's like a board that you put on your bathroom wall. It has like some type of water wicking surface. It's like shiny and it has some texture to it. We just had extra of that laying around, so I'm using it as like tile, you could say, because in a chicken coop, having a smooth surface for your floor is very helpful. So I put the putting the welded cloth was annoying on the subfloor. Like it was, I hurt my hands doing it. I had little cuts from it, and it took a lot of time. But the whole point is, if I have like a predator problem coming from under the subfloor of my chicken coop, I want them to run into the wire and not actually break through the material. So you can't tell that from the outside. From the outside of like the coop on 2 walls, I framed the whole thing with wood fence pickets. So it's going to be hard for something to break through. I'm sure if a predator really wants to get in, they'll try. And then um, on the inside of the run, the what did I just say? What's it called? Pallets. The pallets technically stick out into the inside of the run. So I have those also framed with the wood pickets. So there's no gaps anywhere, is what I'm saying. Mm, so that is not something my uncle could see. Like, you just can't tell. Unless I tell you like this, you have no idea. But on the inside, I have like an old little desk that I just picked up randomly many years ago, inside the coop. The coop is pretty big. It's 8 by 10. And then I have, I think it's 10. I have 10 what are actual water crates from, I think it's Disani. I don't know. They get like some place gets a shipment of water through these water crates, and they're basically like a taller version of a milk crate. So on the side, like laid on the side, it actually makes for a very good nesting bed or nesting box. So I have these all wired together. The bottom row of 5 is like the open part is facing the wall because I don't want my chickens to go in there. And then the top part is facing outward so the chickens can get in. And then on the very top of that second row of 5 milk crates or whatever, I have a sheet of wood. I don't know, it's some type of plywood or something. So if there's a chicken on top, poop doesn't get through the milk crate. That's the actual purpose. Um, and then my chicken coop has one window. That window faces into the run. And I did that intentionally because I don't want to deal with like if the window isn't sealed properly, I don't want to have to seal it properly. I don't want, which I'm probably going to do anyway, but I don't want to deal with like water getting in. I don't want to deal with like it not sitting properly because it's a cheap metal shed. Mm. So with that, I put a curtain rod in there and I have a curtain over the window. Um, and then I did support the roof of the chicken coop with two 4x4s and a long piece of 2x4. Basically, I have the 4x4s separated kind of like in the center of the length of the coop, and they just go from like the ground all the way up. And sitting on top of them, it's a 2x4 that supports where the roof connects because that's actually the weakest part of my roof because of this metal shed being what it is, so cheap. The 4x4s are anchored to the ground with like these, I don't know. I just found it at Home Depot. I found like some type of like corner anchor bracket thingies that it's kind of like an L bracket, but it's really big. It looks like it's definitely meant for a 4x4. Yeah, 4x4. So that looks really good. I think I'm gonna have to paint that wood though, because the wood is leaking sap, which I didn't think it would still be leaking sap at this point, but I don't want that to touch the chicken's feathers. Um, and then I have all of the chicken's floor. I say the chicken's floor. The coop. I have the coop floor covered in pine shavings, which is controversial in the chicken world, but it works well, so I don't care what other people think. And in the run, I have two, I think it's 30 pound. I think it's two 30-pound bags of um, horse wood pine pellet bedding to absorb water because the roof, remember the roof of the run is all weird. It's leaking in 4 places. So I needed to absorb the water because you don't want a lot of humidity in a chicken coop. And my entire chicken coop, including the shed and the run, is covered in plastic. So like overall, oh yeah, and then around the outside, I forgot I did this. Around the outside, I have a bunch of these, they don't make them anymore. They're like, I think they're called castle stone blocks, but basically you could buy them from Home Depot. Home Depot owns the right to make them or something. I don't really know. There was some type of controversy in the construction world and gardening world about it. But they have like these little indents on the sides of them, which let you put in 2x4s. So you could basically make raised beds easily with these blocks as the corner posts and 2x4s, and you don't have to dig anything. Um, so I have a bunch of those. I'm not using them. So instead, I place them around my greenhouse and my the outside of the chicken run, so it looks like really nice. And then the greenhouse, I put the greenhouse together, which the metal was already put together, but I put the plastic together. Um, the plastic, uh, before it was like a concern because like the wind would raise it up, which I got to test it because the wind has been so bad. So I framed the inside of the greenhouse with 6 pallets. And then on the outside of the plastic, I use these cornerstone things. It's pretty good. So I'm just so excited. Everything out there looks really nice. My experience with my uncle was really good. Oh my God. And then listen, I Okay, one day I woke up and I had a notification from Facebook and it was for somebody posting like shit on the side of the road, okay? Like for free. And I was like, whatever, I'll just go look at it because I'm like tired, just waking up, whatever. Well, there was a vacuum and the vacuum looked to be in really good condition. And I was like, I bet they're idiots. I bet it's just the belt. They don't know. It's just the belt. So I was like, I'm just going to go pick up this vacuum and we'll see. So I picked up the vacuum for free. Cleaned the vacuum. Like I got like disinfectant wipes and I wiped the whole thing down inside and out. And then I asked my dad to clean the runner bar, like the bristly bar thing underneath it, and I ordered a belt. The belt was $10. It came with two. So really, one belt was $5. And this vacuum works so great for my house. It is amazing. Like really incredible. It's great for having dogs. So excited. Anyway, yes, Pokey does have a Wikipedia page on my website. This is my website now. I know. I actually, it's so funny, Fireback. I was literally having like flashbacks when like styling this to like MySpace. Literally just remembering different things about MySpace. I want to. Speaking of, I had this idea too, which I forgot about. I guess I could have done it already. But for these sections, because I give people lore, I want to do a voice recording and have people be able to like play it. You want Pokies with a thumbs up? This is his picture right now. This is what he sent me. Maybe we should put like little thumb decorations on it. I do have a website. I just made it. I've been making it the last week. Look at this shit. Look how good it is. Well, listen, hold on. The API isn't calling correctly. We don't need to talk about that. I'll show you the development version because that one calls the API correctly. But this is what the homepage is supposed to look like. I spent a lot of time on this because before I was hard embedding these, but now it looks good. So we have the latest streams, the top videos, the in-house streams. And then these are not set up yet. They don't work. You gave it your best shot. Yeah, is that your best shot? We could just help you out. Mm, this is the actual website. It's just not working correctly. And then this is my local host. Yeah, I was thinking about a gallery, Pokey. I thought a gallery would be pretty good. Um, these, I think I'm going to keep these days for the next in-houses. Upcoming events I haven't done. That's why the link up here looks dumb. That's okay. Once they link somewhere, it will work and look better. This doesn't show correctly, and I kind of want to do something different. Is this where we read our horoscopes? No. But this is where I write lore about you. It's pretty good. I like it. The half of Hall of Frames and other buttons. No, so not right now. So I literally just made this website in the last week. It's not completed. And I am working on the subdomain. I only made Pokey's wiki page today. But for the subdomain is going to be like in-houses. Like inhouses.wraithstars.com. That's what it's going to be. Or in-house, I guess. No, not feet. So there you'll have a link to a Google form to apply as a captain for the next in-house, or join the player pool. I'll have a link to reading the rules, which are, I think we need to like a place. No toes either. And then a Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame will be at the end of every in-house from this point forward, I want people on each team to vote for whoever they thought the MVP was. The in-houses are going to be a little bit more put together. Like they're going to be a little bit more organized, and I think that should fix some of the problems that we've been having. And then the about is this is kind of like a description for normies. And then it just says the main game, my rank in the game. And then the community links back to Discord. You'll see a bunch of Discord links all over. They all link back to Discord. This is lore, and this lore actually is very similar to the lore that we have for Pokey's page. So I don't really know what I should put on the about. For normies, yeah, if normies find this, I want them to be able to read what this is and who I am. But the lore is not normal. And then the schedule links to a Google schedule, a Google Calendar. Community, again, it's all about the in-houses, but I want to do other events as well. And then like community rules, ways to get involved, but these links don't work except for the bottom one, which again just links back to Discord. And again, Discord. I'm just linking Discord all the time. And then for supporters, oh my gosh, who's that? For supporters, we have the current subscriber and member walls, which I do need to add a link. I need to state that this is like subscribe on Twitch, and then the other one will be like become a member on YouTube, and then have Discord move over. I'm not full of shit, I'm full of farts. Yep. Look it. Pretty good. And then for this, I am going to expand this more. When I was thinking about it, I do like the idea of including other people on here as well. These were all dates that I have kept over the years. Like I've written them all down. I think we should add to them and put in new milestones that I'm chasing. And I kind of think that these milestones should be linked to the projects, which again, this one doesn't work right now. And then I don't like that nobody can ever figure out. There's an angry nest in there. Yes, there is. Which one is it? I think it's this one, right? Or is it the second one? There's angry nests. I still have the actual hard copy of this. You used to be a lot more angry. Did you mellow out with age? You know, they say that happens. So flames burn out. I think flames can be relit. So all of this is pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna expand this, and I actually do like the formatting of like subscribers, art for subscribers, milestones. I'll link the milestones. Not link them, but they will reference these things. And then events I haven't done. I don't, because I'm trying to decide if I know bright screen, I'm sorry. I'm trying to decide if I want to just put like draft day, which is behind me. I guess I could show you March. March has the two different ones here, and this one is for C. Is March 6th the decided in-house date? That's for C. I'm doing two in-houses, so let's go back. Because I've realized we have enough players to play on the C servers, so Southeast Asia and US East, and I can play on both servers. I don't care about the latency. It really doesn't bother me on C. So if I'm going to play in all games, which it seems like people want me to, and it's my in-house, I can do what I want. if I'm going to do that, then I want to make it February 27th for the draft day, which is like who's chosen as captain on that day. Um, for C. And then 2 days later would be the 1st of March for US East. This is intentional. If I'm going to play in both of these games, and let's say the games last like 3 or 4 hours, they can't be in the same 24-hour period because I also have to work. So for me, it's going to be March 6th for the C game day, and I'm going to host that at like 7 p.m. my time, which, depending on where they live, should be like in the morning the next day for people who play on C servers. And so the 6th of March is a Friday. Saturday, that means I can work, which is when I make the most money. And then Sunday, which tends to be in sports like game day often, um, Sunday in the morning is when it will be for US East. Um, you saw your name, Athraxis, on supporters. Yeah, because you're a current supporter. You're just an old man now, all your gray hair, and you're just tired of everything. You know, being my age, I was kind of concerned I'd have gray hairs because my mom had gray hairs at my age. But I don't have any. I'm doing great. It was something that I thought was going to happen for sure, though. I don't know. Weird how genetics and all that light you on fire. Don't worry, firebag. I can relight the flames in us. I got the gasoline. Oh. Oh my gosh, I can tell you a story. So, I have an old blower heater in my house. It's how my house heats up. And I also have very poor insulation in my house. With this blower heater, Um, sometimes the pilot light gets blown out because the winds are very powerful. And although we have like it's like called a wind guard or something on like the part that goes up and out of the house, we do have one. It is there. It works properly, you would think, because it looks like it does, but it doesn't. So sometimes the pilot light goes out. When the pilot light goes out, the gas is still on, so it's just releasing a low bit of gas, which isn't ideal. Technically, it's a hazard, but it's never enough where you can like smell the gas. Well, yesterday, the pilot light on the blower heater went out 3 times, and the second time, there was like a little bit of a boom when it went on, and sometimes I feel like it's like a pressure issue. I didn't think anything of it, but the third time it blew out and we relit it, the third time it was an explosion. There was so much gas in the area that like after we lit the pilot light and then turned on the heater at the thermostat, it lit up all of the flames inside the blower heater, and those flames, it lit the gas that was still there. The gas had piled up essentially and like leaked further into that room. It tried to light that, but it couldn't because of how there's like a flame guard. Um, but there was a lot of pressure and it was trying to light everything at once. So it blasted the flame guard against the back of the door in that room. That blast and like the pressure in that room shook the walls of where this is, which the heater touches 2 different walls, each down a different hallway. And then that broke a picture frame yesterday. This all just happened yesterday. If you ever got a wiki page on my website, instead of the default profile picture you have on YouTube or Hollow Knight, you would use the illustrations of you by various streamers. You've had illustrations of you by various streamers? That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. That would be fine. I did ask Pokey, like initially, before I even released this website, I had like a tiny little picture because that's as much as I could get. You used to be able to click on people's profile pictures on Discord and like open the profile picture, not just an image in your browser, but you can't do it anymore. Or I couldn't figure it out. Maybe I could have done it if I was in the browser version. I actually didn't try that. But instead, I asked him for this picture, and it works out really well. It's a nice quality. So I think regulars are going to get one, old regulars as well, and new regulars. This is all about the stream though, so if people weren't regulars in the stream, they don't get one. And then again, anyone I've ever collabed with will get a page, and I want to link to like their platforms. There's a set of homes that blew up 30 minutes north of you that ran on a gas line. Ooh, no, that's scary. Yeah, so yesterday after we had this little explosion, um, I honestly just used ChatGPT because I've used it a couple times. We've had a number of issues with this blower heater. So, I just went to that chat and I was like, bro, what the fuck happened? And it did smell like gas in there like quite a bit, and I've never had that before. So I turned off the gas coming into the house into the blower heater there. And I turned off the thermostat before then. And um, I waited 30 minutes and then I relit the pilot light and I turned on the heater again. And that was the last time I was turning it on yesterday because at night we just turn off our heater. It sounds weird. I don't mean that my heater is constantly going off and heating up the house. And I don't mean that the thermostat is set lower so it turns off. I mean, I physically turn off my thermostat so it can't go on at all, even if it would want to. Um, because my house has such poor insulation. When I've done that before and just let the thermostat decide if it should go on, the heater goes on twice an hour. Um, and that costs like a fuckload of money. I'm not paying that. So I'm not dealing with that, and that's how it goes. Now, since you guys are here, do you have any ideas for what I should do for this website? Because, like, I have more ideas, but most of it has to do with the wiki. Like I said, after I correct a lot of the little issues, I'm going to put my little projects here. And it will be like basically progress bars. Um, and that'll be kind of cool. I kind of think at the beginning of every stream, or maybe a lot of the streams, I should do like a little maybe like a 5 minute thing. I say 5 minutes, but y'all know I can talk. So maybe like a brief little blah, 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 here's what I have going on the website type of deal as kind of like a way to plug it. I think that would be good. Because there's just so much information on the website, and especially if people ever ask me, well, how do the points work? I'm just going to link them. Not that one. I'm just going to link them. Oh, you know what? I could make these links where you can click on it and it will take you to this. I did not think about that until just now. That would be a good idea. Hold on. Let me write that down. Clickable. What is this? In supporters. Okay. So, yeah. So if people ask about the points, I'm just going to link them this. Um, mm, I don't know. Sometimes I know that sometimes people will be like at the end of a stream, no, maybe not a stream, at the end of a video, they thank their supporters. I want to thank people who support, but I don't know the best way to do it. A long time ago, I had like a little letter that I would send out maybe I can do that now. I stopped doing it because I didn't really have anything going on to share, and I just felt like I was being weird. But maybe I could do that now, and in that letter, I would speak more about the different projects I have going on. That could be good. But see, like, this is how I get a new project. This is what happens. This is the problem. But doesn't that sound good? I think so. Mm, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things. I didn't even link like the PNG tubers, which I can't even tell you where I have it. Someone just bought them. I don't know where I put them. I was gonna put them on 3 different websites, and I put them on one website, which I don't even know the name of. I have a link to it somewhere in an Obsidian. Yeah, I don't know. And then the other two, I thought I put it on the Ko-fi. I had intended to put it on the Ko-fi. I had thoughts about it on the Ko-fi. And the last time I looked, it's not there. Don't know. I have no clue. So I don't know where they bought it from me. But I did get a notification that someone bought one. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, this was not the stream I intended for today, but it's the stream we created together. I am gonna go. I think I am going to stream tomorrow. I am. The problem is we need to get through. Look, oh my God, we can click it. We can go to YouTube. I wish you could hide this. Y'all don't need to see what I have going on. But I said a brief stream. Whoops. Oh, look. So this is something. I changed this. Okay. And it did not populate. It didn't populate the way I wanted it to. It really made me mad. Um, oh yeah. Okay, so what I was going to talk about is in the lives. For the last live, initially we were going to play a different game. I can't get that game to work because I don't speak or read French. And I thought I'd be able to understand it enough because like Latin-based languages are, you know, like they have some root words that are kind of the same. And I actually do pretty well with guessing, but for like that type of thing. But nope, no idea. So Pokey told me that I can't do it. So and the latency is or no, all the languages in French. Um so instead we switched to reviewing the in-houses for season 2, which by the way, see, I said I was going to label it as season 2 and we have. So we started to review it. We only got through one person. One person in 4 games. It's just not timing wise, that's not going to cut it. So I was going to do a long stream today, and initially I was going to do a long stream just going over this, but that didn't really work out because I got so distracted because the website was like almost good enough to be able to show. So, oh my gosh, now I can switch this. I can switch this to my website. So if I do that, then I do want to change this homepage to some degree that shows when I'm live. Maybe we should have, that's an interesting idea. Maybe we should have, because like right here, it's not in the right font color, so you can't see it. But we have offline because it's not linked to the API, which it doesn't matter because my APIs are having issues. It's one API. I just said it multiple because I'm dumb. But maybe we should have a thing that says like big screen so I could link people to my website, and if I'm online, we'd have a big screen tab that would then link, or like it would have like an embedded view of the stream, and then I could also show the chat like right here. I think that's good. I think we could do that. I know that some people when they stream they have it show up on your main page, but I don't like how that looks. I think it looks ugly. So I think I'd rather have its own little page. See, it's just getting out of hand. This is what happened. It was not going to be this big, I swear. All this other shit, initially it was home, schedule, I think community and events was like the very first day. I was like, that's what we're going to do. And then I did like these two things with embedded videos. And then I did this little section. And then I stopped that day. And then the next day I did this, and then I added the about, and then I added like all the other shit. I can't with projects, man. I just keep going. Anyway, if you plan to do another explosion, can you stream it? No, man, I was scared. I was legitimately scared. We've never had an explosion type of thing. And then, like, in addition to that, yesterday is when the roof panels of my chicken coop got lifted off and like slammed to the ground. I have three, they're all stacked on top of each other, which that's not how I put them on the chicken running coop. But they're on the ground now. So that's awesome. That was really scary too. And then last night, because the wind was so crazy, it kept waking up my Shepsky tier. And he's because he has husky in him, he is a complainer. He will complain about everything he doesn't like. So each time he woke up, he would just go, "Urr, urr, urr," which is very mild. It was nighttime, but still, I woke up multiple times just him doing that. Um, and part of it was the plastic was like whipping around in the wind. And the greenhouse is just like plastic over aluminum pipes, so it was also whipping around a little bit. And I was really scared about the greenhouse because this is the second time I've had plastic for this greenhouse. I actually got the plastic for free the second time because I left a bad review on Amazon because that thing got like ripped up like the first time so bad that I left a bad review on Amazon. And those people hassled the fuck out of me. They called me. I didn't even know they had access to my phone number. They called me and called me and called me and called me. And this is actually when I was breaking up with my ex. So it was like the worst timing. I answered and I was like grumpy, like, why are you calling me? And the lady was like, calling about this item, which was the greenhouse. You left a bad review. Is there anything we can do to help improve your experience? And so like after like the third time of them calling me where I picked up, I was like, you know what? Can you just send me the pieces that are bent? And because there were two metal, like aluminum pipes, I guess, that were bent from the wind. The wind did that. And the plastic was just completely shredded. There was no way possible I was going to be able to use it the way it was intended to be used. So they said, yeah. They gave me those two pipes and a new thing of plastic. And I just hadn't put the plastic on until like last week. And I only put it on last week because my uncle was going to visit. So, it did great. It did so awesome. But at the same time, I kept waking up a lot of times last night because I thought it was gonna like get lifted up by the wind. That literally happened multiple times with the old one. But this time we figured it out, so we're good. And then I also have a what's it called? A floodlight, I think, or something. It's a motion activated floodlight that's attached to my garage. I have three on my garage. Um, this one kept going off all night because the wind. Like, I don't know. The wind moved it or something. I have no clue. But this thing kept going off all night and I can see it from my room. I don't like it, man. And it was way too cold for me to want to get up and like put a blanket like there or something to like block out as much of the light as I could. So it was just a crazy, crazy couple of days. All right, so this is our stream. we're done now. Thank you so much for hanging out, dropping by, saying hi. And you guys showed me excitement, and I'm excited about this, so this makes me really happy. I am going to stream tomorrow. I can't tell you when, dude. If I'm awake early and I'm not getting jobs, I'll stream tomorrow morning. If not, I'll just say that I'll stream at my normal time. But you're not going to know until the last minute because it's not a planned stream because it just depends on how I wake up and what's going on. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and listening and chattering and helping. I'm going to go. Take care of yourselves. Don't die.